going to build either a farm or a zoo with some animals and some blocks, and we're going to play with it a couple of different ways. The first thing we're going to do is just practice making a simple single structure with a couple of cages and putting the animals in and kind of practicing how to talk to each other as we do that. So I might say, okay, here's going to be the grass for our zoo. Let's pick some animals. Which ones do you think we should use? Okay, the giraffe. And how about the cow? Good. Do we need a turtle? Yeah, he's kind of slow. Okay. How about the elephant? All right, we'll use those ones. These ones can wait over here. All right, do you know how to make a cage? I can show you. Here, we're going to take our pieces and we're going to make a square with them. It might have to be a little more of a rectangle so that there's room for the animals inside. And then I could put the cow in this one. Can you make one for the elephant? Here's some blocks. So at first I'm just making sure that my child knows how to make the pieces and that I'm modeling different ways of making suggestions, especially using language, avoiding things like I want or do you want as much as possible, and looking for other pro-social language like how about or let's use or why don't we, so that we just expand on ways of being polite and making suggestions in ways that are usually more readily accepted by people and other children when we're out in public, rather than children who tend to use more restrictive language like I want or give me. Sometimes those phrases are associated with having to get the thing that they asked for when they said I want, and then they can be more rigid about being flexible with them. Once we've set it up a little bit and we're trying different structures and making it a little bit differently each time, now we want to play a game where one person gets all the pieces and the other person has to give directions for how to build the zoo or the farm. And then we'll take turns so that we each have an opportunity to share our ideas and practice being really specific about what animals and where they go and what pieces. So for example, if I can see that my child is already pretty good at building them and they have some pretty strong language skills, I might let them have the opportunity to be the person giving the directions first. And this is a good opportunity to practice that flexibility by making some mistakes. So I might say, okay, I'm going to build the zoo, but you have to give me the directions, and I'm going to follow your directions, but I might make a mistake. So if I make a mistake and I put the wrong thing in the wrong place, what should we do? I know. Let's make a silly sound that we make each time that happens, like boing or uh-oh. And then when that happens, you can help me fix it and make it the right way. Okay, I'm ready. What should I do first? Okay, make a yellow cage. I've got it. Uh-oh, what happened? Yeah, I put a red piece there. What should it be? It should be yellow. Okay, let me switch. Got it. Okay, my cage is ready. Who's going to be in here? The elephant. Okay, here he goes. So sometimes I'm going to ask questions like, what should I do next? I want to avoid doing that every single time, because eventually what I want is for my child to just be able to give me one direction after another until I've built the whole structure without me having to ask each question. And then I want to look for some opportunities to make mistakes or put the wrong animal in, but not do it too often because that's just annoying. Then we would take turns and I would share the material with them, and now I'm going to give the directions and make sure that the way that I build it is going to be, the way that I give the directions, they'll build it differently than the way that I made it the first time. Once we've done that, now we can talk about plotting out our plan a little bit more in advance. So for that, I will often use a whiteboard or a piece of paper where I've written down a couple of the options in advance, and then before we get started, we can talk about what we're going to use and then refer back to this plan if we need to And having it written down kind of sets a nice way to refer to if we start to get confused about what we need, or if there's a little argument about what piece, we can come back to our plan. And then if it's clear that my child wants to change his idea about what we had put on here at first, we can practice how do we politely explain that and maybe change our plan without needing to get upset. All right, so for today, should we build a zoo or a farm? Oh, cool, let's try a farm today. All right, and then what animals are we gonna need on the farm? I know, we're gonna need a dinosaur. What, we don't have a dinosaur on the farm? You're right, we don't. Okay, what animals should we have? And then we would talk about it, and I would write some of them down. So maybe we're gonna use a cow and a pig and a sheep. So again, having this written down just helps us refer back to if we've forgotten what our plan was. All right, and then how many cages should we have for them? Are we gonna put them all in one, or are they gonna have different ones? Okay, we'll have 3 different cages, and are they gonna be big or small? Okay, 3 cages, and they're going to be big. All right, that sounds good. I'm gonna put this here and we can get started. So I'll set it down to the side. We don't have to keep looking at it each time. And now we should be able to just share the materials and follow what that plan was, and we can refer back to it as we need to.